Hello, everyone. Seems to be activity already in the peanut gallery. Let's see who's entertaining themselves. We have Loki, which you guys need to learn that when you type in emojis, this is what comes up for everyone to see. Right there. Clock turquoise looking up. So stop typing emojis. They don't come in. Thank you, Loki. Chauncey with his Chauncey, when you're typing fact in capitals at the end. Is that your style? Can you let me know if that's your style? Hello, Paul. What's new? I'm streaming right now. Let's go down here. There's Norman. Yes, it's a live stream, Mazzy. Hi, Fred. Hello. AZ Mick. It's not officially a live stream unless AZ Mick says hello. Hi, AZ Mick. Hello. You know, AZ Mick's a fan of Fluffy. What's up, Nick? John. This is all I'm going to do for an hour. I bought records today. You've been on a spree, Paul. Crazy spree. So, yes. Hi. Okay, we'll get this out of the way. Where I don't know, Jim. It's up to you. Jim just texted me that he's doing something that might be humorous. It's up to you. If people want to come up, you can privately message me. I'll send you a link. I'm not sharing it here for troublemaker reason. But I did pick up a bunch of records, and I have records from, I think, last Sunday. On Sunday, I picked up a bunch. I actually have some cool records to show, but I cannot show them until Monday anywhere. So that's the rule I was given from the records I was given to show, that I can show them on Monday. I already have that record. You should run over there and get it. That's not an easy record to find, especially in great condition. But that one is expensive. What's up, Chris? How you doing? All right. We have someone joining us.
I just didn't want you to be here all alone. I felt really bad.
No, people eventually. That's the thing. People eventually will join.
Later. Not necessarily, Rob. Don't get your hopes up.
Yeah, I don't know. There's not much any news that I know of. I did find a website last night where I was looking for records. A German site of a record label, and I'll share the link, and I've shared it in the Discord, the Jazz Bums Discord. It is Mowers Music, and they carry a lot of avant-garde and free jazz titles, and the prices are good. And this is what's funny: to ship 3 records from Germany with tracking came out to like $11 or $12. I don't understand why it's only Germany that can mail records affordably. I think that's even cheaper than Canada.
It must be that Dusseldorf discount.
I don't know about that, but I'll share the link.
Fun.
Like Mazzy will be all into these titles.
Yeah. What's the snobbiest neighborhood in San Francisco? That's a good question, and it depends.
They're playing with you, Mazzy, when they ask that question.
Yeah, but I know. They're giving me shit. You know, snobbiness, snootiness, it's really evolved over the years. It used to be like way back. It used to be kind of Cow Hollow, Union Street was kind of snooty, and then Chestnut Street. That's where
If
on the
you
weekends, all the women with their baseball caps with their ponytails coming out, getting Noah's bagels, kind of like
hey hey
Santa Monica.
Fluffy, stop fucking with Mazzy, please. Or
And
I'll have
then the last decade or so, 15 years, it's the Mission District with all the techies, all the snooty
you
techies moving in and
know,
paying like 3 times for property and,
I've
wanting it.
lived in Santa Monica for 25 years, and
Yeah.
I'm pretty loyal to California. I've lived here 30 years, but I'm from DC
I like
and
Santa
I like
Monica.
DC. But
Santa
I
Monica
don't
has snooty parts.
but I don't feel the need to kind of go, it's great here, it's great there, it's great there.
There's a plethora. I know this is a jazz show and I'm not about music, but I was reading some things. There's this new waterfront thing opening up here. 10 years ago, they tore down the viaduct like San Francisco's Embarcadero Freeway and they re-landscaped it. They repositioned it, the new roadways and this new promenade area from Pike's Market crossing down to the new aquarium addition. And when I know, I just want to say this,
Some of
but
these,
every time
like,
there's a post on this, there's all these people commenting, like dumping on a city because, oh, it's going to be homeless tents and graffiti in 6 months. People like to dump on the fucking cities
this
that
is
don't
your
live in the
fault.
fucking cities.
This is your fault. Well, like I could say shit like that too, Mazzy. Like every other corner and all over LA, but here in Santa Monica, they're knocking down and putting up high rises. In fact, we had an airport that's going to close, I think, next year. The
Which
city
one?
is so Santa Monica Airport.
Oh, yeah. And there used to be a restaurant there. It was kind of
Yeah,
cool.
there was a restaurant there that got cited for serving whale, like animals.
Right, I remember that. I went to a
But
couple of photo events there.
yeah, but they closing the airport and sold it all off. They're going to build all over there.
Yeah.
So they're doing all that shit here.
Well, this is something for the economy, for tourism. They go, they spend $70 million on that. What about paying for the home? Well, that stuff comes back with taxes and tourism and locals, and it makes a better, the waterfront in a city. Thank goodness San Francisco tore their down and Seattle tore their viaduct down.
I can walk out to the street right over here and see the ocean from my street, not from my apartment. I'm not high enough, but I can. So is that waterfront? I can see it from
Roger, you need to talk about the way
Russia.
that.
Hey, Roger, I'll talk about this, but I can't show the record. Roger's a big fan of Riders of the Purple Sage.
New Riders of the Purple
New
Sage.
Riders of the Purple Sage. And my buddy's record label has been putting out quite a few of the live concerts in Rogers.
Really? Omnivore?
Yeah, they've got at least
Well, I tell you that I
the
promoted
Sam.
the hell and love the hell out of that Sam Phillips at
Yeah,
Omnivore
I
just
have
put
it
out.
around here, but I have 4 new titles that I cannot show until Monday. One of which is an amazing title, and hopefully I can talk more about it. But I'll definitely show it on Monday. But there's a new Riders album, a live album coming out.
Do you know what year offhand it is?
76, I think. They've put out at least 5 new Riders titles, I think. They're all been live shows. They're
Wow.
all live shows.
But those aren't from the Bear, Bear.
He said my friend said a lot of them actually are them opening up for the Dead.
So there might be Betty Cantor tapes.
Well,
tapes.
not to disclose incest on the stream, but I am hooking Mazzy up with Omnivore because they would like to get their records in more hands of people.
Well, grease the wheel, baby. Yeah, Tom. Tom wants us to talk about Piss Christ.
Well,
Serrano. What's the artist's name?
No, this is from this morning. Tom, listen, dude. You're a grown adult man of a certain age. You don't have to talk like you're 13 or 14. Dude, is it that your what was your flow is good? Nice and strong?
Come on, Tom. Come on, Tom.
Let me show this website right now. I'll share the stream. It's very
And this
convoluted.
is avant-garde or freeform, free,
Avant-garde free jazz. This
right? Just the stuff that
I
I always want to listen to. I'm kind of over that shit.
it's not really a thing. It's you have to
I
search.
like the Grateful Dead did jazz, like 74 to
Now,
78. They
so
kind of,
this so their prices are good. They have a lot of cool titles. They're in euros. So
if
for
you don't
like
like the music, cheap records mean nothing.
no, but the ones I ordered, like World Saxophone Quartet, I ordered actually did the one I order sell out? Let's keep
And
going through
yeah, well, I know the
there.
Rova.
I
I know
ordered
Anthony
this
Braxton.
right. Well, Charles Bobo Shaw and the Human Arts Ensemble
I
with a
don't
great
know.
lineup there. Joseph Bowie. I ordered this one. I ordered three. I mainly went here. I'll show you the record I ordered. So Fred Anderson, I don't know a lot about him, but I think he became. I don't even know if you could call what he became famous, but he became known later in life. But this is a live session right here. He didn't put out. I think most of his stuff's on CD, so I ordered that. But I mainly ordered. I'm on a big John Carter kick. They put out this album. John Carter was a jazz clarinetist, but very streamed into avant-garde free jazz. And a lot of his albums, I think you would like, Bazzy. And I'm going to show an album I picked up.
I'm not.
I got
I don't
mail.
usually trust jazz artists wearing shorts.
Okay, Mazzy. But I picked up this record. It's quite good. I'm going to share the link in the chat. You guys go here. The shipping to get all three records to me, well, like I said, it was like $12.
Wow, John Carter, huh?
So I think you would like him. He put out kind of 4 or 5 albums that are concept-y. Let me stop sharing this. I have a big giant stack of records to show here.
Of
Jeez
course you
whiz.
do. That's why you do it Tuesday or Wednesday. Wow, it's Wednesday. I lost a
Yeah.
day.
Okay. I'm gonna show. I have actually 2 records.
We should be big. Make me small so I can just make
Yeah.
rude comments while you're showing records.
Yes. Thank you. Okay. So this I think is a kind of masterpiece. I think. This John Carter Castles of Ghana.
Is that before John Carter was on Mars?
I'm gonna send you there. Gramavision is a very good label. All these John Carter records are on here. This is quite a stellar lineup. You got I do not know Terry Juncour, whoever blasts me for mispronunciation, and Marty Ehrlich, but Bobby Bradford, who he had a quartet with, is on here. Bagatka Carroll, Benny Powell, Richard Davis, and Andrew Sorrell. This is based on something that that's based on that was already written, and they redid it on this, and it's kind of a verge on classical. It's like avant-garde classical jazz. It really is very good. It's a killer album. So, who's making stupid comments that you're laughing at?
Well, Mike always does. I don't know what happened with Mike and I.
I don't know.
He's pissy I'm not coming to New York.
So I found a Bobby Bradford record today. So here, Mazzy, here's how you're probably going to be on the gravy train. So Bobby Bradford is like 90, 91 years old, still around playing. I believe he lives in LA. And one of your favorite record labels, is it Insurrection?
Insurrection.
No, and the one who's putting out like rock or audiophile records.
Oh, Intervention.
Sorry, Insurrection. So Intervention's about to release their first jazz title.
Oh, I heard that he was on Westland's talking about it, right?
It's a Bobby Bradford record that's coming.
Wow. That's interesting.
So this one's from 1975. It's a live show from Paris. And I haven't listened to it. It's actually in the cleaner right now. So I'm going to listen to this. I don't think this one's particularly all that avant-garde, but this is Bobby Bradford. So he plays, known for playing with John Carter. So, and this is not jazz. I got this today because Vinyl Me Please issued 2 Ramones records last month.
That's in that second box set.
Yeah, right. But one of them came out, you couldn't get. It was impossible to get. In fact, I swapped it out. A lot of people did that. They never told people they didn't get it. So I exchanged it for this. They made plenty of these. So
Chris,
I
is
haven't listened to this yet.
Chris Record Talk, when you're talking about bro country, you wouldn't call like Gene Clark and the Dillards, Dillard and Clark bro country, would you? I don't consider that bro country. That's what you're referring to in the Burrito Brothers, because that's what.
These are conversations we don't have here.
Well, he brought it up. I'm
But
responding.
whatever happened to the? Hey, Roger, hold on. I'm bringing you. Whatever happened to the Chris Record Talk who just talked about CDs? What happened to that guy?
No, he talked about records. It's
CDs.
No, you're thinking of someone else.
No, I'm thinking of him.
No.
He used to just talk about CDs. Okay, I picked this up from Deadly Wax, a good record store in Chatsworth in the Valley, and I didn't know much about. I knew this is Greg Green at the Lighthouse in Hermosa Beach. This record fucking rocks. This is when Greg Green went into his soul jazz period in the 70s. And you would love this album, Mazzy. It just is kick-ass live.
Hold on. Fluffy. No, Roberto has a. Hold on.
These guys, would you stop antagonizing Mazzy, please?
He's not going to be.
It's very suggestible to your stupid-ass comments.
Shut up.
Jeez, you are on a short leash. You're on a short leash. You're probably going to be on a short leash.
It's open, but I have this.
There's no short leash for you.
This one. This is the. This was a record store day a few years ago.
Yeah.
I'm waiting. Roberto's asking me which one I'm talking about. It's this.
But that one is the later Ramon stuff.
Yeah, basically that's what you showed, right?
Right.
Yeah, you showed Too Tough to Die. So
right. But this is Ryan K. Smith remastered. It's in a nice jacket. Blah blah blah. All right. Short leash people started. I'm almost positive you're going to be on a short leash.
Who, me?
No, Harry's.
Oh.
All right, leave Mazzy alone. But by getting back to jazz talk, this is excellent. This is trivial because Roberto says this shit all the time. They should reissue this because it kicks ass.
People always say they reissue this or that, and they reissue something. Oh, they shouldn't reissue that because we already have it. Well,
no, I'm telling you,
don't have everything. So
no, but this.
I've never seen it.
Right. I don't. There's probably maybe 7 Greg Green records into the 70s. I don't know offhand, but this is easily the best one. Live at the Lighthouse. This is good. Go stream it. Don't buy it. Restream it. Okay. I found this, Mazzy. So Yusuf Lateef live at Peps.
I don't know that record.
It's a live record. It's very sought after.
Is that about 67 or 69?
65.
Oh.
This is a mono copy, but it's a mono club copy. So it's not Van Gelder. It was put out for the Capitol Record Club. So, but there's several ways to get this. I think Elemental just put out a version of it this year or last year. There's a twofer. Those MCA twofers from when MCA took over ABC or whatever.
That would have been 70.
So that's a twofer that actually has most of the show at Pips. Then there's a third disc that they put out called Club Date. I've talked about this before. I have all of them. That is the remainder of the show. But this is excellent. And the mono sounds killer. Sounds really good. All right. Thank you. All right. I picked this up too. So Julius Hemphill, who's an avant-garde free jazz guy, but this is a group he did in the 80s using his full name. and this is more blues based jazz. There's guitar on this, and he's wailing on it, but it's very bluesy, and it's quite excellent. This was put out on Minor Music. This is a German label, and it's called Georgia Blue. I do not know most of the people playing on this, but it really rocks. There's guitar. Alex Klein. This guy just goes by Stubig. There's Julius Hemphill. Or the Jama Santos. I don't know him. There's Julius Hemphill. And Niles Klein. I've heard of Niles Klein. On
Well,
guitar.
he's in Wilco.
He is?
Yeah.
Well, came out.
And he has a jazz group.
Yeah, this came
I
out.
have one of the non-such records.
Actually, this came out in '84. So this is very good if you can find it. But very blues, guitar heavy. But it's Julius Hemphill is wailing on it.
That's too new for you, Harry. Don't pay attention to
What's
Rob.
the matter with Harry?
He doesn't like new music.
Yes.
Or he doesn't have time for new music. He's had enough. His hard drive is full for old music.
Okay, so I never picked this up when it came out. This is a Tone Poet of Joe Lovano. It's a double disc. Elvin Jones and Dave Holland. This was at Amoeba for $10, so I just bought it. And I've only listened to the first disc, but it's very good. Very happy with this. So I know brand new. This is like, it hasn't come down in price. It's like $55. But I could not pick it up because it was $10. And I enjoyed it. It's very good. Where did Mazzy run away to? I'm gonna take a sip of my coffee.
Can I show off Harry's banana bread?
I think that's probably what got you sick.
Harry brought
no one is more proud of the shit they cook than Harry. He won't shut up about it.
Is there pot in this, Harry?
He made clam chowder.
I've been eating it for 3 days.
Yeah, now he's coughing. It's not a good sign. Hold on. You can read my old interview with Joe Lovano, Rob. Okay, send the link. Share the link with everybody.
No nuts in this banana bread, which is
oh,
good.
By the way, I didn't share the link. There's the link to that Mooers music if you want to order some albums. Okay. Next one. I'm picking and choosing what I'm showing. Okay, I found this.
It's zucchini bread. Excuse me. I know it's some kind of
zucchini.
That is great.
Okay, I found an OG copy that wasn't in the best shape, but it plays nice.
Is that our Hooli or
no? It's a Bluesville RVG.
Got it.
Mono, and it plays really nice. There's a little noise, but it plays very good.
There's no icing on this cake. Zucchini bread. I'm sorry, Harry.
Yeah, zucchini bread's the same recipe as banana bread. You just put zucchini.
What's good is sometimes people make this shit and it's really dry. It's not dry. So you did good, Harry.
You did it, Harry. I picked this up. I have it. This is going to be in the auction on Saturday. You
should wear that suit when you do the auction.
Even though this is a goofy album cover, this is a kick-ass record. You know, Jamal plays Jamal, which I have. Very similar. This is him on 20th Century, and it really is a very good record, regardless of this goofy-ass cover. Yeah. But this will be in the auction on...
Rick's, I agree. Chad puts out amazing Hopkins and blues records, so I agree with that.
So this is coming out, I think, shortly as a OJC reissue, but I found the stereo our Van Gelder on the purple label over the weekend, and this is excellent. I had a twofer with this. It really is a good record. I believe the reissue OJC that's coming out is mono, and it's Mal Waldron's The Quest. I guess maybe when they reissued this on to stereo. They felt they needed to make Eric Dolphy and Booker Irvin bigger, but it's a very good record.
Is that 68, 69?
This record came out, I think, in 64.
Oh,
This one might be a 66 pressing.
they got that whole
65.
psychedelic type.
This could be a 65 pressing.
Okay.
Very good. All right. What are people saying? Nothing that has to do with how you doing, John? Yes, thank you. Now, would I look good in the suit as a dead body? Because you're used to dead bodies? Let me know in the chat below. Thank you. All right. Next to show is I went to a store, they got in a collection, and they had a bunch of Red Garland records, which I collect, and I did not have. The best of all of these is this one, the Red Garland Trio with Paul Chambers and Art Taylor. It's a Blue World. And this is another purple RVG pressing. This is awesome. But all Red Garlands are good. Out of the three I picked up in the order, I like this one the best.
Thanks, good. Tom. I didn't know Eric Dolphy died by 68. I did not know that. Thank you.
Yeah, well, he died in Europe. He had diabetes.
Right, diabetes. Yeah.
But I think he had like a seizure or something.
Yeah, I remember. Okay.
All right, next one.
I don't have every year of a musician, dead musicians, what year they die.
Oh, we'll get you a calendar. Okay, so this is a 72-73 reissue of Red Garland where there are gray skies. And I guess this year, for some stupid ass reason, they decided to make the covers black and white.
I like that cover.
Yeah, but it originally is not black and white.
Oh, is that okay?
Yeah. For some, I'll show you the next one, and it's on the green label.
Oh, that's a 70s pressing. Yeah.
No, yeah, I know. But this year they did. So this is Wendell Marshall and Charlie Persip. Very good. Again, all the Red Garland Trio records are awesome. So got that.
We went through a lot of those Red Garland OJCs when we had the OJC.
Yeah, no, I've been doing a good job of putting together a really nice Red Garland.
You always do a good job, Rob. Well, that's a beautiful cover.
Right, but it originally was in blue. It's not a black and white.
I like that in black and white. I like that.
But this is again another excellent record.
It looks like a William Claxton photo. Does it say who took the photo?
This is Sam Jones and Art Taylor.
Who took the photo? Is this...
What did you know? Blah blah blah. No, Bob Snee, Rudy. It doesn't say.
Wow.
You probably go to Discogs and find out.
Is Bob Schnee the engineer?
Bob Schnee's the notes on the liner notes.
I wonder if the same Bob Schnee is the engineer who worked on Steely Dan and Ringo Starr.
Maybe.
He's still alive.
Very good. So those three, Big Ian's not getting them. They're in my collection. Okay.
There's like 3 Toms here. Look at this. 3 Toms in a row. Yeah. That's too many Toms.
You know what? We have too many Toms, too many Nicks, too many
Marks usually.
Okay. This is a white label promo.
Rogers.
Flying Dutchman. It's these Oliver Nelson's, which he writes scores. Not scores.
I read
that kind of orchestra pieces that are avant-garde. This is very good. I already have this. I'll put this.
Any Thomases out there? Tom's. I always read the design and photo art credits. I might have black lung disease, I tell you.
I know you worked in the coal mines in San Francisco.
Well, my birth month. That's a great record.
Right. I think this is an OG I found in the dollar bin. So it doesn't look the best.
Chad has done great issues of that record.
Yeah, I'm gonna clean this up and see how it plays. It's on the Verve with the horn player. I don't know if this came out as this. I'll clean it up and see how it sounds. Probably going to be crackly, but it was in the dollar bin. Actually, the store I go to, 50-cent bin. Nice. So it was worth picking up. All right. Coming to an end here. I don't know this record. Does anyone know this? This Hank Jacobs, So Far Away. Do you know the Sue label, Mazzy?
Sue?
Sue Records.
I do
This
not.
is
I know
soul.
Sam. Did they date?
This is a soul record from the 60s. I think 61. So looked weird enough to get. All right. Found this is a Blue Note comp.
That's like 1969 or 70, probably.
Let's see. It's a Liberty Blue Note comp. That's weird. So it has to be after it was acquired, right? Liberty. So this is when Liberty ain't bought Blue Note. So nice comp, 2 LP.
71, maybe. Yeah.
Okay, now we're rolling down to the end. Picked up a Liberty pressing of this record.
That's a wild cover shot.
Yeah, well, there are two covers that are sort of.
It looks like an improv group doing a skit.
Here's the grouping.
Holiday for Skins.
It's like Latin stuff. And this is a Liberty pressing.
Wow. I've never seen that record.
I've seen both.
Nice.
Yeah. Is this no RVG? Okay. This I'll probably put the auction and not because I already have.
There's been so many different issues of those volumes.
Well, they're different. There's volume 1 and volume 2.
Yeah, but the classic did a version, or the 80th, whatever.
Yeah, this is a white B.
I have the classic versions.
It's like or it's an Art Blakey record. It's not the Messengers. So there's the lineup that's on there. Okay. And then this is a record I already have, but I'll put in the auction. Lots of people have been talking about this record. This Warren Smith and Toki. It's a 45 RPM direct master, and it is excellent. This record is very, again, avant-garde free jazz. This is killer. So I'm going to put this.
More or less Toki?
It's more Toki because he's on sax.
Okay.
It's very similar to me. There's that Rashid Ali, Frank Lowe stuff. It's kind of like that. It's 45 RPM. This thing is minty fresh.
It's like a Dynaflex.
No, it's not a Dynaflex. This is Japanese pressing.
Oh,
direct to disc. It's very minty, and I'll put this in the auction. It is excellent. This is killer good. Okay, and then I found 2 copies of this. I'll put one in the auction and one for myself.
What does shrunky mean?
So this record, Hank Mobley Quintet, was put out as a tone poet as Curtain Call. And I know a lot of people did not like that pressing of it. I think people didn't care for the sound.
Really?
This Japanese pressing from 1984 sounds excellent.
I kind of like that cover, actually.
Yeah, the one that they came out is the Tone Poet. Ugliest Tone Poet cover.
I might even have it. I can't picture it.
Hank Mobley standing there in a horrible cover. But this cover is excellent.
You found 2 copies, huh?
Yeah. So I one for myself and one for the auction I picked up.
There you go.
So Kenny Dorham, Sonny Clark.
Yeah, I like that cover too. I like that. Yeah. I've never seen that version.
Yeah, come to Saturday. This is from 1984.
My baby does the hanky panky.
Those are what I found since Sunday.
Very good. I mean, you're such a resource. I can't wait to ride as a passenger and you tooling around Southern California in October.
I'll take you to all the soup kitchens.
Yeah. Well, I want to see all the tents so we can, when I do my city urban video, I can show people how fucking shitty LA is. So all those people, complaining about the West Coast.
Anyone who complains about California does not live in California.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean,
I'll go back to where I'm from, and there's.
I lived 60 years in California. I loved
I'll let you know. Everywhere there's shitty areas and there's nice areas.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it was nice to go to. I hung out with Jim. He sold an amp. The guy came over to his house, bought an amp, and we went and had lunch because I went over near there to pick up some
Tom,
records.
you hung out with John Marino at Target.
Hold on.
Did you pre-order the mono Beatles Meet the Beatles at
Oh, hold
Target
on.
blue vinyl?
Don't skip over this. I pictured it was like that scene in Pretty Woman where Richard Gere's watching her try on all the outfits.
Yeah.
Which
Do they
one of
still have a
you
little hot dog area where you can buy hot dogs and have a
which
Pepsi?
one of you is the Richard Gere and which one of you is the Julia Roberts? Target's a great
Which
place to go.
Target was it? Oh, Pasadena. They live in Pasadena. They both live in Pasadena.
Well,
I assume it's
John, I think John lives in South Pasadena. They
well
actually are two
Pasadena.
different places.
It's like okay, live in San Francisco, South San Francisco. Do you? I'm
South
in South
Pasadena,
Seattle, but it's Seattle.
South Pasadena is its own city.
Okay. South Seattle is not its own city. I'm in Columbia City area.
Daly City.
I was heading out with my meds, and he was buying cleaning products.
Were you doing it to a song from the soundtrack?
I get Kaiser just mailing. I only had to take 2 meds, and they just mail them to me. I don't have to go
Yeah,
wait in line.
dude. I get all mine mailed to me.
Yeah, I
You
mean,
know,
I only get 2 things.
Amazon started that pharmacy service. It's
I do
good.
Kaiser, and I updated my thing, and in 2 days, it's here.
It's troubling. Troubling that you didn't try on clothes for each other. So you're back in the swing of things, making videos.
Yeah,
And all.
Copel, I know her. She moved here. Well, she's from up here. Her family's up here, and she had a baby a few years ago, and so they moved up here, moved her business up here. I haven't seen her since she's been here. I met her a couple of times in San Francisco. But yeah,
Who?
Copel
Who?
Design. They do, those custom wooden header things and display things, and what's it called? I forgot. Copel Design is her company, but yeah.
Excellent. Hey, hold on. Hey, John Young, how you feeling? Feeling okay? Let us know in the comments.
Yeah, John.
I
think I'm going to go see Megalopolis this weekend. I know it's probably not great, but it's a Coppola film, and I need to see it on a big screen.
Yeah, it's probably a movie not for everyone.
No, and I get that, and it probably won't. I don't expect it to be great, so I'll be surprised. But I remember my friends and I, 6 of us, went to see the 10 a.m. showing, opening day of Apocalypse Now at the North Point. It's one of the big theaters in San Francisco at the time where they would mix the sound. I mean, do the demos, when they want to show it before it was released. And Coppola said 10th row center at the North Point. So we got there early. Place sold out at 10 a.m. and we all watched it. It was fucking amazing. So with a glass of Coppola wine. Yeah. Yeah.
But he sold the winery, right?
Yeah, I believe he did. The movie's not going to do great in theaters.
Well, I didn't even know who's releasing it.
It's coming out tomorrow, Friday.
Yeah, I understand.
I think I'm going to go probably Sunday.
It's long too. It's not a short movie.
It's okay.
Where are you seeing it at?
I'm going to the IMAX, I think in South Center. It's not selling out yet, but I'm going to see Saturday. I'm going to see One Hand Clapping, the McCartney movie in Bellevue. I bought tickets.
Is that in the evening?
No, it's a 2 p.m. thing. It's very limited. It's only a day or 2 or 3. Dagan, how you doing? How you feeling? Looking good. I lost 8 pounds while I've been sick. I can't believe it.
Yeah.
I don't need it, but
because
I haven't been drinking, I haven't been eating much.
Yeah, he's been living in his own.
Look at all the jingles. Well, the jungles. Well, the whole thing. Mickey Hart from the Dead, as you know, worked on the percussion on that. Pat Gleason, who worked with Herbie Hancock, did the synthesizer stuff, and all the helicopter sounds that were synthesizers, not real helicopter sounds. And Carmine Coppola, Francis's father, worked on that soundtrack. What are you talking about? Refused to meet? I met Dagan.
Who's busting your chops?
Loki. But I met someone who wasn't Dagon first. That's the thing. Rachel said, "Oh, there he is. Go say hi." And I started just taking his records while he was
You
through
went
them.
to the wrong guy.
It was pretty funny.
You said hi to the wrong guy.
Yeah, well, Rachel pointed to the person for me to say hello to.
Here's a troublemaker.
Hey, Kimbo, how's the sweatshirt? Does it fit?
Was he in prison? Did you give him something?
I gave him an Abbey Road sweatshirt hoodie because I'm tired of him wearing that Pearl Jam. Every time I see him, he comes over with a Pearl Jam. So I brought one from London.
You're not a young kid anymore, Kimbo. All right. Dr. Robert asks, I'll probably go to 5 because my sinuses are bothering me and I have some work to do. But we have a guest who wants to feel needed in the VC, show some records.
Hello, Doc.
What's going on?
You can't hear.
I got you.
Hello, Doc.
Hey, guys.
Yeah, what's going on?
The usual. I don't know. The usual lately.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's things are going as well as they can be. I'm not going to talk about that a long time, but Susan is getting a blood transfusion right now, and we have tickets to fly to Iowa City, Iowa tomorrow to visit my mom.
Does she really want to travel during this period?
She loves it. I mean,
okay. Well, then that's rare. I haven't left the house one day in a month, and all I had was a flu.
Yeah.
Hey, before Dr. Robert shows stuff, I found some 45s that are quite interesting. This one is it's Let It Be.
I've heard of it.
Yes, but I found some high record ones. Here's a Ann Peebles.
Ooh, I like Ann Peebles.
Her albums are so good, man.
Yeah.
And then,
fortunately, I got like 4 or 5 of them during the Coleman time, because you don't see them very often.
No, they're some of them are pricey, not all of them, but a lot of them are.
But you just don't see them, even.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know Willie Mitchell?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, well, he produced.
This is a white label.
I've never heard his records. He produced Al Green.
Al Green.
I mean, it's the same band with Ann Peebles. I mean,
yeah, this is a white label promo.
Yeah, I haven't picked up his stuff either, but maybe I should. I don't know. I
can't stand the rain.
I don't know if he was just a producer or was maybe an executive at High Records. I know he was part of the crew.
I think, wasn't it his label part? And then was distributed by London. I think so. And he arranged everything.
He co-wrote a lot of those songs, right, with Al Green.
He might have, yeah.
If anyone, just Al Green last year, I think, or this year, put out a version of Lou Reed, "Perfect Day." Go listen to that. It's amazing. But Al Green was here in LA recently, and I saw a video of him. He's quite large.
Rob went to see the Herbie Hancock tour. So someone asked you about it.
Who's asking?
Terry.
I saw the Headhunters reunion at the Hollywood Bowl.
Yeah, well, that's
last month, and it was awesome.
Wow, that's cool.
Herbie's doing his regular tour. They just did this reunion show
for the Hollywood Bowl.
Yeah,
it was kind of like when I think they did 2 or 3 shows. Remember back in the 70s or 80s, 70s, late 70s, the VSOP, with the second great quintet with Freddie Hubbard instead of Miles Davis. I saw that Berkeley show, and I think they did one in LA too. That live album.
And I'll tell you, there was one person who stole the show, and that was Benny Maupin. He kicked ass, so it was good.
I've never seen the Headhunters or Herbie Hancock, but so I will tell you guys, I was in a Manhattan thrift store maybe 15 years ago, maybe more than that, and going through their records, and I found there were 3 copies, and it was, I think, just a Herbie Hancock record, but it was a private pressing, and it was somebody's bar mitzvah, and so he played at a bar mitzvah and they recorded it and put it out as a record. And I bought one copy, and my regret is I didn't buy all three. And it turns out it's like a $200-$300 record. And
Did you get like 23 people? Did you bring 23 copies to get autographed?
I've never gotten it autographed. I haven't been to his show.
Yeah.
But so if I can,
was it called Herbie Hancock's Mazel Tov? What was it?
I'm blanking on the name of it, but if you look it up, it's on Discogs. It's under his releases, and it's clearly a bar mitzvah celebration record. That's what it's about. So
Herbie's version of Hava Nagila, it's crazy.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Have you ever heard Ben Sidran's version of Hava Nagila?
No.
Or of Kol Nidra, or the one of, I forgot what he does. Ben Sidran, right?
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Ben. I like Ben Sidran.
I mean, Ben Sidran records are great. They're kind of like they're almost like I was going to say jazzier, but they're not jazzier, but like Mose Allison, his vocal things. And of course, he co-wrote Space Cowboy, I guess, or Live in the USA with Steve Miller Band, played on those Steve Miller Brave New World albums. His son is a archivist musician that does a podcast interviewing great musicians. But the Ben Sidran records on Blue Thumb and then Capitol are excellent records.
Yeah, I like his stuff. He's obviously a Mose Allison fan.
And he's a jazzologist. Remember Dr. Jazz? He's one of those guys that hosted late night TV shows way back in the 80s or something.
He's a PhD. He's Dr. Ben Sidran.
He is. Yeah. Someone mentioned earlier. Mickey Hart worked on a lot of Apocalypse Now because when he started doing all that drum things and the Dig a Rhythm Devils albums, Coppola heard the drum things when the Dead were doing that 78 thing that just came out, and he brought him in to work on that stuff at Columbia Studios in 78, 79 for the soundtrack to Apocalypse. And that was a big part of it. Mixing it with the Doors, obviously. Doors music.
Right, the Doors, yeah.
Dr. Robert, do you have any records you wanted to show?
Yeah, I can show a few. So I was going to amplify what Mazzy was saying. So just to be clear, and I want to give credit to the band, really. I went and saw Hot Tuna Saturday with my buddy here in Portland, and I took 22 records, 22 record covers, about half of them Hot Tuna.
Doctor.
Half of them Hot Tuna and half of them Jefferson Airplane. And both of Yorma and Jack Cassidy signed 21 of 22, and the way it happened was I walked around to the back, the stage entrance, and I know this theater, I've been there before and had success like this. So I'm standing there, and this guy walks out from the stage door and is vaping, and I said, are you with a band? He said, yeah, I'm the sound engineer. And he was critical because I was on my cell phone watching some mockery of Donald Trump. And he goes, I actually like Trump. And I'm like, well, whatever, dude. And so we start talking, and he's like, yeah, they're going to want to sign it at the end. Just come back at the end of the show and we'll get them signed. I said, okay. And so we just talked, and then, he's ready to go back in. And I said, so you want me to just put these in my car? And he goes, just give them to me. I'll take them in and I'll get them back to you at the end of the show. And I said, okay. So I gave him this huge bag, and I included 2 Sharpies, one black Sharpie and one gold Sharpie, so they can sign the black covers and it'll still appear. Right. And I never was face to face with Yorma or Jack Cassidy, but he walks them in. I go around and I go find seats, get in line, go find seats. And I'm standing there ready to go into the auditorium. And here this guy is, buying a beer or something at the check stand. And he says, hey, they already signed him. I got him up front. Just, I'll pass them to you. Come down to the stage. I said, okay. So I walk down to the stage, and he passes me this bag of all of these records. They're all signed, except for one, which I'll explain. And he passes it back to me. He says, see, you got to like Trump supporters. And I said, you're forgiven. and
I did see a video of, there was a guy at a Hot Tuna concert the other night at the soundboard signing all these records.
Well, he's got 2 different signatures if it was him.
Did you read it? Maybe it said Donald on one and Trump on the
So
other.
which one didn't he sign and why? What didn't they sign? And why?
Okay, skeptics. So Yorma's is not even intelligible. You can't make it out. It's just a scribble. But Jack Cassidy's is very detailed. It's very, and it's full, complete Jack Cassidy, and it's very, very detailed. So there's definitely two very different signatures. And the cool thing was that they used the gold Sharpie on the darker ones. So they got that, but I didn't get either Sharpie back. I got my bag of records back, and both Sharpies were gone. And maybe the coolest thing was I had one record in there that didn't have both of them on it. It was just a Jorma Kaukoman solo album, and he didn't sign it, and obviously neither did Jack. But I thought it was really cool that Jorma said, I'm here as a duo, and I'm just not going to sign this record that doesn't have my partner on it. I thought that was a really cool thing.
How was the show?
Oh, the show
It's
was
all acoustic now. They stopped doing electric, right? Yeah.
Well, Jack Cassidy was playing an electric bass, but Jorma was playing acoustic
Yeah, he
guitar.
stopped doing the electric stuff.
Oh my God, it was so good. They are both just
He's
so.
incredible. Last time I saw him, it was him and David Bromberg, separate and together, and it was amazing at the Fillmore.
Yeah,
about a decade ago.
I've never seen either of them, but Jack Cassidy, and it bordered on jazz a good bit of the time. It was an
I
amazing.
thought they were mostly blues.
Well, they're folk. Airplane came out of the folk scene. I mean, all those the San Francisco groups like the Dead and the Airplane, they came out of the folk movement more than anything, and blues influence, but the country blues more than the Chicago type blues. Unlike the Butterfield Blues Band, the East Coast bands, they kind of had that acoustic kind of thing, like Josh White and Mississippi John Hurt, those kind of things. So
yeah, there's definitely, they have and they've written a lot of their own songs.
It's good. There was a Record Store Day about a decade ago issue of the first Hot Tuna album, which is live in Berkeley. That album of the full show. It's a double album, and it was a Record Store Day, and it has the whole show because that was edited down for the first vinyl release. And what a great sounding record, and a great record that is.
I have the first Hot Tuna record, but I don't have.
Yeah, you pick it up musically. It's great. It's great. It's just the whole set. That's it.
Yeah, I mean they have such an interesting history to me. They went from being mostly acoustic and folky to being kind of a power trio or a power quartet and all electric and loud as hell. And then they have now come back full circle and are doing it more.
That's one thing that surprises me because I still remember to this day. I saw them at Winterland like the first time might have been 72 or 3, and Jerry Garcia played with them on some pedal steel stuff with the new riders in them. And that Hot Tuna show was one of the loudest shows I ever attended. And you wouldn't think of Hot Tuna to be loud, but oh my God.
Right.
We were up in the front, Winterland. You stand, you sit, and you stand there. But it was louder than Pink Floyd. It was louder than Black Sabbath, which is bizarre.
Yeah.
Then
I only know this by reading about it because I never was in any of those shows, but I've read through their history and I have a lot of their music and the records in the 70s and mid 70s in particular. They're very, I won't call them heavy metal, but it's definitely electric music. But it was a lot of fun. My buddy and I had a great time, and I just was so appreciative of what they did with these covers. I hope they enjoyed it. I mean, Waxed, I know you're kind of skeptical that they actually enjoyed it, but they signed every Jefferson. They had every Jefferson Airplane.
Jack's going to see him tomorrow at Berkeley. The Freight and Salvage is a great club. If you get a chance, go say hi. This guy at the soundboard should be Bob Whitfield. Bob, he was a friend of our good friend Vernon's, and just say Norman Maslov says hi. If the soundboard there at the Freight, he's the sound guy there. I assume he's there every night. I could be wrong, but they might have their own sound guy too.
Dr. Robert.
You want to show a record? Is that what you're saying?
No, you said I'm skeptical. What am I skeptical of?
Well, you were skeptical that they actually enjoy signing these records, and I the thing I like about it.
My thing is usually an attempt at humor.
Yeah. Okay.
And
right.
it's more about the benignness of people coming out to people signing stuff.
Right.
So
Well,
I assume if they did sign it, that they are all about their fans.
right. Right.
I appreciate that. I give Dr. Robert and Harry a bad rap, and I'm teasing, but I'm halfway serious. When you
Yes.
show up with 20 records or 10 records, like bring a couple records.
Well, sometimes they
Hey,
say,
Van Morrison, here's 60 albums. I'm not going to sign the Warner Brothers records.
Okay,
you know the
I'll
story.
tell you. Here's my experience.
Dear
So
eBay highest bidder.
when I
Signed
ran
you.
my company, my screenings division, I would have recruiters working for me that would go out and invite people to these screenings. And you have to be a certain type of person to do it. One of these people were one of these high level autograph hounds, like these professional guys
Right.
that you see like at TMZ, where they wait out for the celebrities to get their autograph. And if they say no, they verbally abuse these celebrities.
Well, I've never done that.
This guy
No, we
literally
know you
was
have. I don't.
this guy
I would
who
never.
worked, he was one of the worst people I've ever met in my life.
Well,
It takes that type of person. So that's my stereotype against autograph hounds. But I'll tell you one thing: Dr. Robert's not going out and selling this stuff.
no.
But they don't know. They get these guys coming with blank pick guards, and they sign these guitars, and then they had bought these cheap Japanese Stratocaster covers, or whatever you call them, knockoffs, and they sell these $60 guitars for a few $100s because it's autographed by some McCartney on a Strat or something, on a faux Strat. There's people that do that, just bring all the pick guards. And if I was an art, it depends. If I met someone, we had a little rapport, I would sign a bunch. But if someone came in with a bag of records, I would probably just sign a couple of them.
Well,
Well, some of them do. Some of them say so. And I'll tell you. So, and I try to be polite and careful about it. And so, for example, Saturday, I have 2 copies of Jefferson Airplane, Bless Its Pointed Little Head, their live album. And it had, the reason I have 2 copies, the covers are identical. They're both US pressings, but they're different pressing plants, and very clearly different pressing plants. And they kind of, one of them has a large pressing ring and one of them has a small pressing ring. And so it's kind of a cool difference. And it's just for me, it's a collectible difference. And so I kept both. But going into their show, I left one at home because I didn't want them to think, I'm a dealer and I'm flipping and, trying to get. But then I also have 2 copies of Volunteers, but one is a quad pressing and obviously has a different cover, and then the other is the standard pressing. So I brought both of those. And this guy, the sound engineer, it's funny you say this, but the sound engineer, and his name wasn't Bob, but he was very friendly, and he asked me, are any of these duplicates? And I'm like, no, but there is this one that's a quad and and standard. And he said, yeah, that's fine. So he took it in and they signed them both. So
Roberto, one person in New York asked me to sign something, which was bizarre.
well, I asked you to sign something.
and his name is Roberto.
You did? What did I sign?
You signed your book.
Well, that's different. Okay, aside from my book, but someone asked me to. Oh, I remember at one of the auctions. I don't know if it was a Dizzy. I think it was a Dizzy auction. It could have been Coleman auction. Some guy bought some records for his son, and he wanted me to sign the 3 records, and it was one artist. I forgot what artist. And I said no, because I said I'm not the artist. If it was my book, I'll write a little note and sign something. But I feel weird signing someone else's, like a jazz record or a pop record, rock record. That seems weird to me. He was genuine, but him and his son watched the channel.
I'll autograph anything for
it wasn't you, Don.
as anybody.
Okay, all right.
You had me sign that. What is it? The Claudine Longet record that I bought at Billy's, or the other one?
All right, show some records, Dr. Robert.
All right, so these were some Portland finds this last week. This last week, I went to Tomorrow Records, which is one of my favorites here.
I've seen that box before.
I hadn't ever seen this. So John Coltrane in Japan, and I do think it was released outside of Japan, but the first,
As a two, I believe as a 2 LP, I have
yeah,
the US, but
I think,
that's 3, right?
yeah, this is the 3 LP.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you said it's got the Obi. It's in a box. Very cool record. Um, it was not cheap, but I didn't think it was inappropriately priced. We were talking about Mose. I found another Mose Allison record that I didn't have. This is
Yeah.
72.
Those records are great because they're cheap and they're really good.
Most of his stuff is not that expensive.
No, they're very cheap. The Atlantic
No,
stuff,
like
especially.
the earlier ones are like more. There's some instrumental ones.
Yeah,
That
I
are
think the
good.
Prestige ones I like a little more, but I like that. Like your mind is on vacation, but your mouth is working overtime.
I mean, he's a great songwriter.
Absolutely.
And
I mean, he influenced Pete Townsend on the Who, like
Hello.
Live at Leeds and Tommy.
They covered a couple of his.
Yeah, they covered his versions of like Parchment Farm and Young Man's Blues.
Yeah.
Hi, Delphina.
I saw him probably 1990 down in San Diego solo. He was great. And then this
I'll
is
pick up any Mose record because they're all great.
I feel the same.
Yeah.
And here's one more jazz record.
I didn't. Did I? Was that from the Dizzy collection? No.
No, I just bought this at Tomorrow Records yesterday.
That was about how much? Do you mind me asking?
It was $30.
Okay. There was one of those in the Dizzy collection. That's a Bay Area thing. It's Jerry Hahn was kind of this rocky jazz fusion thing in the late 60s out of the Bay Area.
Well, the name of this it's a pun, but Arabian, like Arabian.
After that, he changed the name to Jerry Hahn Brotherhood. I think didn't they have an album on Columbia after that? I think black and white cover illustration.
I'm not positive, but I was unfamiliar with this this label too. It's called Changes. The record label is called Changes, and obviously kind of psychedelic jazz, or at least trying to be psychedelic jazz.
Yeah.
So
did Ralph Gleason write the notes on that in the back? Do you know Ralph J. Gleason?
He's from San Francisco.
I've heard that. Well, it's a guy named Philip Elwood.
Philip Elwood. He was the Examiner review. He reviewed our book when it came out. Actually, Phil Elwood.
Right? Yeah, I think Gleason was the guy who wrote on the back of the
a lot. He had that KQED jazz show live with Coltrane. You can see him online. A lot of great jazz artists. He wrote liner notes. He co-started Rolling Stone with Jan Wenner.
Right. Well, and he wrote, I think, maybe notoriously wrote the back cover notes for one of the early Creedence Clearwater albums, and then they posted that he called them third generation Bay Area music, following the psychedelic.
He was really into the Airplane, the Dead, that whole scene too. Right. Considering he was an older guy from jazz, it made it more kind of legitimate in a way to some people.
Right. So they on one of their subsequent albums, they have a cardboard sign that has written on it "Third Generation," kind of calling out his wasn't really because he was supportive, but he also was a little bit I don't know, a little bit insulting, I think, to them. So
yeah, Fluffy, you probably know Moses dead, but I think you were joking. I can't tell if people.
I don't know. Fluffy, settle down, please.
You can find my book probably on Amazon or eBay. It probably costs you more for shipping than buying the book.
Or at certain places holding doors open. All right, Dr. Robert, go to your next record.
All right, couple more. So I'm wandering away from jazz, but this is another one I just found this week. Aman Duel. This is an incredible record. I've played this already. It's a live record, and this is a German pressing, 1974. This is a repress from 1982. But man, I like their stuff. There's Aman Duel and there's Aman Duel 2. I only have anything from Aman Duel 2. And I guess I don't quite know the politics, but they were like a retreat or whatever we want to call those things from the 60s.
Cult?
Huh?
A cult? A monastery?
I don't think it was a cult, but a commune.
A commune. A kibbutz.
It could have been a kibbutz, but they split up and went separate ways, and two bands came out of it. So kind of interesting. This is a record that I had on CD, and this is close to jazz.
That's a good record.
Oh, such a good record.
Is
I love.
Georgie Fame on that record?
I think he is on a couple cuts. Yeah, I think he is. But it has. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I like that period of Van Morrison. Even though he's a putz, I like those records.
I know. Georgie Fame is definitely on. I played this whole thing.
You should send that to him in Belfast to get signed.
Well, I'm carrying it with me the next time I see him. By the way, I'm going to see him down in the Bay Area. He's playing Frost Amphitheater.
Hey,
wow,
Richard James, I need a birth certificate.
That's at Stanford University.
I can't give you a happy birthday.
Is it a day? It must be a day show then, like an afternoon.
These two guys won't shut up. I'm just trying to get.
We already bought tickets. Susan and I are going down. So it has this song "Too Long in Exile." That's the name of the album, which I love. And he calls out all these Irish, poets and authors. James Joyce and Samuel Beckett stayed too long in exile, couldn't come back to their homeland. I mean, it's such a cool concept. If you stay away too long, you're no longer comfortable at home. I love that idea. And Ball and Chain is another one I like kind of here. And he does a version of Gloria, and Georgie Fame is on that song with him.
Yeah. Georgie, people should get the early Georgie Fame, at least that first big album he had is so good. It's kind of like, what's the hit? The big hit he had. I can't sing it, but
I don't remember the name.
It was bigger in the UK than it was in America.
He's one of those guys.
Great singer, and very influential.
He could have been Tom Jones. He's
well, he had a little bit of that Mose Allison thing and that rock thing and that
definitely jazz influenced.
Absolutely,
you guys are really crowbarring in your record talk for the stream.
Well,
any other records, Dr. Robert?
Oh, one more. You ready for this? I showed this. I sent this on our email chain or text chain. So, I went to the Dead and Company shows out at the Sphere.
Oh, how was that?
Oh my God. You got to go see something at that concert venue. And I think within 3 or 4 years, there's going to be multiple similar concert venues.
Well, there are other companies already build stuff here in LA.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, what it is, for anybody who hasn't heard of it, the whole interior, it is a spherically shaped building, and the whole interior is basically a video screen or a movie screen, and they project 360 and top to bottom videos during the concert. And so there's no bad seats in the house, and it was great. Now, so my buddies and I went to this, and these were 3 buddies that I used to go see the Dead with back in the mid 80s in the Bay Area. And so they all were there, one with his family and wife and kids, one with his wife, and then I was there solo and one other guy solo. So we had a great time, and it was kind of a reunion. But we had bought these, I have to say, and I don't know that I would have done it, but we all did it together. We bought VIP passes, which were not inexpensive, but it comes with, it turns out, this double album live versions of the Dead and Company summer tour last year. And one of my buddies who bought 4 passes for his family sent me, he doesn't have a turntable, so he sent me all the the email chain to get his. So I have 5 copies of the record I just showed you. So I'm gonna have to pass some of those along in some way. So
my 70th birthday was last month. So
whose was?
Mine.
Well, okay, there you are. All right, you're on the list for one.
By the way, a couple people, John Moreno, yeah, was a Georgie Fame song I was thinking of.
Who exactly is the album?
The name of the album is, and it just came out. It's been sold now. Somebody's already flipped theirs, or several have, but it's called Summer 2023 Aces Back to Back. And this is basically, it's the first vinyl pressing. There's been a bunch of CDs and other digital releases of Dead and Company, which is John Mayer, and then Mickey Hart and Bobby Weir and other players. I don't want to diminish them or leave them out, but I don't know them as well. But John Mayer channels Jerry Garcia at times, and then at times he's an even more powerful guitarist than
I've heard that, and I've heard some clips, and he sounds amazing. I've never been a fan of his personally.
I've seen him live. He's an excellent guitar player.
To me, he's always been technically great, but just uninspiring for me. But I've heard with the Dead, he's good.
He does. I recommend it.
When Apple started iTunes, they had these things called as is that were exclusive to iTunes, and he was the first artist. So that whole tour, they did like 7 or 8 John Mayer as is concerts. They weren't edited, they weren't doctored in any way, and they were excellent. And they're probably still on Apple. They were great. All right, was that your last record?
That was my last record, and I'm getting texted by my wife. I'm going to have to arrange pickup for her. So it's been a difficult couple months, as I think people are aware, and I can declare online a little bit. But she is doing fiercely well, and we are just working through it.
All right. Well, we're all supporting you.
We're supportive. Yeah. If you
go be a supportive person.
I promise from now on I won't get upset unless you bring more than 25 records to get signed.
No, I promise you.
I've raised my threshold of getting pissed off.
I think I
promise. It's none of my business, really. But
hey, it's part of the repartee, right? It's part of
if it's artists like that, it doesn't bother me because it's not like they're Taylor Swift that they're getting thousands of people.
Then do a live stream and have Dr. Robert up.
Yeah,
take care, I promise you, Dr. Robert, I'll ridicule you at any chance I get.
Okay. Well, I expect nothing less. Let me just say that.
I'm treating you like I would treat anybody else. Yeah. And in fact, all of you in the peanut gallery, that goes for you. If you like me to treat you like I treat everyone else, let me know.
I don't feel singled out. I'll say that.
Would you get her ride, please?
Yeah.
I'm feeling nervous now.
No. I got plenty of time. We're all good.
Okay.
All right. Everyone have a lovely evening. We'll see you on the Jazz Bums on Friday. Have a good evening. Thank you.
Are we ending now?
Yeah, I'm a little.
Okay, that's fine. I'm
a little spacey right now.
I didn't get the cue. Take care.
All right. Here's the cue. Bye, everyone. Have a lovely evening.